Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Coursey. I'm your instructor for the course. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and to introduce the course. This is Psychology 3210, Statistics in Psychology. This is a fully online course, so over the next 5 weeks we'll be learning a lot about the kind of basic principles of behavioral statistics. So I know that many students experience some anxiety at the beginning of this course, and I just wanted to reassure all of you guys that the calculations that we'll do in this course won't go beyond kind of basic mathematical calculations. So things like addition, subtraction, multiplication. The most difficult thing that we'll do is we'll take the square root of a number. So some of the formulas that you'll see in this course may look a little bit scary, but I promise that we'll break those formulas down, and when we do, it's actually really simple to work through them. Now, I do want you guys to be very mindful of the schedule and the due dates. We're covering some dense material in a relatively short amount of time, so I don't want you guys to procrastinate or to put things off until the last minute, because some of these concepts are a bit complex, and I do expect you to have questions. In fact, I expect you to have a lot of questions, and it's better to get those addressed and answered early in the week so that you feel fully prepared to complete the homework and the quiz assignment successfully. So I am here to help you and to facilitate this process throughout the course, right? Now, if you have questions, right, if something seems confusing or if you feel a bit lost, please reach out for help. I know that there's a tendency to think, well, I don't fully understand this, I'll just skip it and move on. That's not going to be a good technique for this class. How this material is set up is that we build on concepts each week. So for instance, if you're struggling with something in chapter 3, then it's not a good idea to move on to chapter 4, because that'll make chapter 4's material that much more difficult, right? So answer those questions that you have in chapter 3 so that you are prepared to understand the concepts in chapter 4, right? Each week we'll cover 2 chapters, so 2 chapters per week. You'll have a discussion topic each week. There's a discussion post rubric that is posted on Canvas for you guys. Discussion posts are due on Tuesdays at 11:59. Pretty much everything is due at 11:59 p.m. So kind of burn that time into your brain. Discussion posts are due on Tuesday. Each week you'll have a discussion topic that will give you instructions on how to complete that post. Some posts you may be asked to do a short activity or to look online for an article that illustrates a statistical concept that we're learning that week or the previous week. For this first one, you are just asked to introduce yourself and to get to know your classmates. Each week you'll also be asked to reply to at least one of your classmates' posts. Replies are due on Thursdays, again, end of day. And the replies are just to ensure that you're reading your classmates' posts, that you guys are interacting and engaging with one another. You'll have a set of slides and a set of notes for each chapter. The notes are about a paragraph of text underneath the slide. That's more or less a quick summary of what I would say in a lecture for that particular slide. I hope you find it helpful. It took a long time to type all of that out, so I hope that that's useful for you guys. I would suggest that for each chapter, you start out reading that chapter in your textbook. Then you briefly kind of look over the slides and then read the notes. You may also want to consider doing the practice problems that are at the end of the chapter in your textbook. Each week, you'll have a homework assignment and a quiz. The homework is worth 20 points and will consist of approximately 15 to 20 multiple choice questions. Some of these questions will involve some calculations. Homework is due on Fridays at 11:59 p.m. The homework is administered through a function within Canvas. It is homework. It will be counted as homework, but it's set up kind of more in a quiz type function. The reason for that is that I can give you multiple choice questions, and through that function I can give you very prompt, rapid feedback. So the homework is due Friday evening. Saturday, beginning at 6 a.m., you'll have access to your homework so that you can review it, you can see exactly which questions you missed, and you can see the correct answers. Right? My hope is that you'll be able to use that feedback to prepare for your quiz. Right? So I do encourage you to review the feedback for every homework assignment. Now, the reason I'm kind of stressing the format of how homework is administered via Canvas is that there are some drawbacks. The drawback is that once you open up the homework assignment, Canvas will force you to submit it within that period of time. So for instance, you can't open it, work on it, save it, and come back to it later, right? So when you open it, make sure that you have enough time to complete it, approximately half an hour to an hour, maybe more depending upon your familiarity and how much you've prepared, right? Now, if for whatever reason you can't submit the homework after opening it, let me know, because I'll have to go in and manually reopen it so that you can complete it. So if that happens, don't panic, just send me an email and we'll go in and fix it for you. The quiz assignment, when you open that up, you'll see a linked Word document. Open up that Word document, answer the questions, complete the calculations, record your answers, save it, and then upload that saved document to your submission. I do encourage you guys to submit your calculations, your work, right? Show me how you calculated to get that final answer. You may also want to consider doing that for your homework assignment as well. So if you're doing some hand calculations on the side, on some scrap paper, whatever, keep that, because what that allows us to do is that if you have questions, if you are having some trouble, if you send me a quick picture of that, right? Or if you're uploading that with your quiz assignment, I can see where you're getting lost, right? Where you're experiencing some issues so that I know how to help you more effectively. So keep that in mind. Homework is worth 20 points. Quizzes are worth 50 points each. The quiz will be kind of more labor-intensive calculations, right, compared to the quizzes. So most of your quiz questions are not going to be multiple choice. It's going to be compute this calculation and then write in the correct answer. Finally, you guys have an optional assignment, not every week, but most weeks. You have an optional extra credit Excel assignment. So for these Excel assignments, you'll see in Canvas that you can download an Excel workbook for that assignment. The assignment instructions are the last slide for the appropriate chapter, right? Whatever that Excel assignment is related to, you'll see the instructions at the end of that slide set for that chapter. So follow the instructions to go through the data in that Excel workbook and using Excel functions and formulas, computing certain statistics or answers to questions. There are a couple of ways in which I see these optional assignments as being beneficial to you. The first is that you get some bonus points, right? Some extra credit points that can help you out with your grade. The second is that it provides some real-world kind of relevant experience. In our field, it's not too typical that researchers would be computing formulas, computing statistics by hand on a piece of paper. They're going to be using maybe Excel or another statistical program to run their statistics. And so this gives you some experience with that. And finally, once you kind of get a handle on using Excel and these formulas and these functions to work through these statistical analyses. You can use Excel to check your answers for your homework and your quizzes, right? So that way, once you get through the hand calculations, if you want to double check and make sure that you don't have any miscalculations, right? If you want to double check all of your answers, that can be a really great resource for you, and I encourage you to do that. So if you have any questions, let me know. My contact information is in the syllabus and on Canvas.